Welcome to the final event in the Holidays in Historic Frederick series, the Festival of Lights, presented by the Friends Meeting School. Okay. Yeah. My name's Jim Ratchiff, and I'll be your Master of Ceremonies tonight. Before we begin with tonight's festivities, I'd like to introduce the individuals and groups who have joined together to make tonight's program so special. Our Mayor, Randy Mcclement. The Frederick Children's Chorus, who will be leading our caroling and performing for us this evening. Students from the event sponsor, the Friends Meeting School, for handing out the candles in the programs tonight. And Annette Brailing, who will be sharing an inspirational message with us this evening. Everywhere I go, Annette's got fans in the house. In addition, I'd like to thank the following groups for making this, as well as all of our holiday events, possible. The City of Frederick, the Holidays and Historic Frederick Committee of Celebrate Frederick, and the Festival of Life's chairman, Tracy Ratchiff and Jennifer Mills. And finally, I'd like to pause for a brief moment to say a special thank you to an individual who has been a tireless champion for Celebrate Frederick over the past 5 years, David Gerson. David, are you here? David has brought insight, passion, unbelievable energy to every role he's filled as a member of the Celebrate Frederick team, from leading the Kris Kringle procession through the streets of downtown Frederick, to restructuring the volunteer program, to serving as the president of the board of directors. We can't thank him enough for sharing his valuable time and talent with Celebrate Frederick and the Frederick community. And always, we'd like to give a special thanks to our corporate sponsors for their generous support in 2016. Our sponsors, our Spire sponsor, Nimeo, our Carillon sponsors, 106.9, The Eagle, BGE Homes, Key 103, Sandy Springs Bank, Weiss Markets, our band shell sponsors, the Frederick Magazine, the Frederick News Post, Mid-Maryland Oral Maxillofacial, the Plamondon Companies, Roy Rogers, WHAG, and our Festival of the Light sponsor tonight, the Friends Meeting School. Finally, I'd like to welcome several guests from the Fort Detrick community that are joining us here tonight. Major General Barbara Holcomb, the Commanding General of the U.S. Army Medical Research and Material Command in Fort Detrick. Colonel Bob O'Brien, the Commander of the U.S. Army Garrison, Fort Detrick. Command Sergeant Major Frank D. Jordan, the Command Sergeant Major of the U.S. Army Garrison, Fort Detrick. And Command Sergeant Major David M. Rogers, he's the Command Sergeant Major of the U.S. Army Medical Research and Material Command. I'd also like to give a special thanks to All Saints Episcopal to let us move inside to their beautiful church here, given the cold weather. And now it's my pleasure to introduce our mayor, Randy Mcclement, who will give us a little background on how this festival came to be. Mayor Mcclement?
Good evening, everyone. Well, at least we're in a nice warm place tonight. We could be outside with a little bit of nippiness out there. But again, to back up Jim, I'd like to thank the church for allowing us to come in here. And it is always set up very nicely in here. I get the honor of giving you a little bit of background on what the Festival of Light is and how it came to be. So at first it says, "'Twas the night before Christmas." Oh, wrong one. Sorry. This community gathering started about 30 years ago, and it was started by a young lady named Julia Hanna, who was concerned that the world was losing sight of the real meaning of Christmas. She encouraged area residents to display single white candles in their windows to bring back the feeling of an old-fashioned Christmas and focus on the warmth and fellowship of the season. She encouraged community togetherness, and the Candlelight Festival began. Since that time, the tradition has evolved into this ecumenical gathering. When it began, there were only about 20 people who attended. And as you can see, on this cold winter night, a lot more than 20 people are attending. So I want to thank you for your participation in this and all of the events that we put on in the city of Frederick through Celebrate Frederick. I want to wish each and every one of you a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, all the holidays, greetings. Have a safe and happy New Year. And we appreciate you taking your time out of your busy schedule to come here tonight. And I hope you enjoy the music of the wonderful children who are about to sing for you soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It's now my honor to introduce Annette Brailing, our inspirational speaker for this evening. Annette founded Friends Mating School in 1996 after starting the elementary school that became part of Sandy Springs Friends School. After retirement in 2011, she continued to devote her life to the causes of education, equality, justice, and love, and continues to volunteer her time around Frederick County. Please join me in welcoming Annette Brailing.
I'll have some words tonight about light, and I love the history of this celebration, focusing on light, warmth, and friendship of the season. Light is a significant role in so many traditions, not just the Christian, but Jewish, Kwanzaa, Diwali, the Hindu celebration, and the pagan celebration of the solstice, celebrating when the days stop getting shorter and start getting longer. I've kind of been interested in following on my iPhone the sunset times, and I felt a little bit of hope this week because last week the sun was setting at 4:46. Tonight it's set at 4:48. So that was a bit better than last week. So, and we know that from now on, we're going to start getting longer days, and we're going to look forward to that light that follows the darkness. My favorite quote, students from Friends Meeting School know that one of my favorite quotes is from my hero, Martin Luther King, who says, "Darkness cannot overcome darkness, cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that." When I think of light, I think of love. But we do have our times of darkness. And I'm going to ask for a moment of darkness right now. Yet we can overcome darkness and let there be light. Ta-da! Some darkness we can't do anything about, and some darkness we can. We have dark times in our world and in our own lives. When I thought of some dark feelings that some of us had after the election, I also thought, and of times when our nation and our county, our community, we get divided and it feels dark, but we can work on bringing light. And I thought about that we've had worse dark times. When I think about the Civil War, when we were so divided, we went to war against one another in our nation. And yet, that's behind us. In my life, I think about dreams that I had that were sometimes squashed. I worked in Montgomery County Public Schools, and I had dreams of what I'd like a school to really be like. And I took my idea for a dream to the supervisor, and he liked my idea, and he gave me some time to explore it, study it, research it, and see if we could make it be a reality in a magnet school in the county. But the idea never made it. It never got through the bureaucracy of the system. And that was a dark time for me. But things go on. And shortly after that was another dark time, the death of my mother. I had just read a book that had the values that I really appreciated my mother had raised me by. And I had written her a note that I appreciated those values, and I appreciated her. Shortly after I wrote that note, I got a call from Florida saying that she had terminal cancer. And after her death, I wanted to find that book, and I found that she had written in the book a passage from William Penn that said, "Death cannot kill what never dies." And that quote influenced me for the rest of my life. And it led me in my searching for my own dreams and my own life to try to go ahead. It was a significant role in my decision to make a radical change, leave the security of my employment in the public schools, and try to start my dream school that followed the Friends values that my mother had raised me by and that carried on some of my other dreams. And so I started the first school, a little risky at first, but it worked. And we started in a church building. For 6 years, the school thrived and grew until the church wanted their space back. Another little dark time. What do we do now? But we went up to Sandy Spring Friends School. They were just middle school and high school, and we were elementary. So we had a merger. But it was a little dark for me that I needed a new place to go, and what next? But at that point, another kind of dark again, my father died. But he left me an inheritance, and that allowed me to look for land on which to start another school. So we searched for a year and a half in Montgomery County until we decided to look in Frederick County. And there we found this beautiful piece of land after a year and a half of searching. And then began Friends Meeting School. And so after some dark periods come some light periods. The light of seeing students having good experiences, bringing families together, and us trying to give our light to others about us. And then when I retired 5 years ago from the school, I became more involved in this wonderful community. Frederick is a lovely place, and it's beautiful physically, the charm of the city, and I've found so many caring and good people here in Frederick. I love to walk around the streets or in the stores and find smiling faces and friendly people. And as far as giving light to people who need light, I've found many caring groups and organizations in Frederick. I've been proud to be part of the Human Relations Commission, where we try to support our community being an inclusive, caring, and loving community. I've been involved in the Homeless Coalition, trying to bring shelter to the homeless. An Immigration Coalition to look after the well-being of people that come to this community and that need an extra support coming in. We all have that light, and there is a lot of light I've seen, and then I've also seen that we all have opportunities to shine our lights brighter. We can look more at the needs of the homeless. And how do we find more housing for our homeless? How can we address those who forget about their light and are hateful? What can we do to bring light to them and to bring light to people who are hurt by others? So tonight is a great occasion because tonight we get to the light of the joy of hearing our kids sing. I heard them rehearse and they sounded great. And then we'll get to light our candles. And as we light those candles and sing together, I have another piece of song I thought you could join me in before we hear the kids do a really better job. I'm not that good of a singer, but I love to sing that This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. And think about that. So would you help me and sing just one little verse of that? This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. And as we go out into this season, let us all think how we can let our light shine even brighter.
Thank you, Annette. I know for a number of years, whenever you show up, you bring a little light to me. So I'm glad that you had the opportunity to share it with everybody here tonight as well. So now, everybody, please welcome the Frederick Children's Chorus. They're led by Judy Dubois, and they will be performing Gatatumba, and We Wish You the Merriest.
The song is about the instruments that accompany the joyfulness of the season. So as we introduce a new instrument in our lyrics, you'll hear the instrument join us in the accompaniment. So you'll know exactly what we're singing about all the time.
Tumba, 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 compondero si sonajas. Cata, tumba, 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 no te metas en las pajas. Cata, tumba, 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 toca el bombo y el rabel. Cata, tumba, 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 tamboril y cascabel. Cata, tumba, 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 que bonita noche buena. Cata, tumba, 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 que me dio mi compañero. Cata, tumba, 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 toca el bombo y el rabel. Cata, tumba, 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 tamboril y cascabel. Cata, tumba, 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 que sabroso bolchevito. Cata, tumba, 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 que me dio mi diamantito. Cata, tumba, 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 toca el bombo y el rabel. Cata, tumba, 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 tamboril y cascabel. Cata, tumba, 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 tamboril y cascabel. the merriest, the merriest. You'll cheer. We wish you the merriest, the merriest. The merriest, yes, the merriest. We wish you the merriest, the merriest. The merriest. You'll cheer. We wish you the happiest, the happiest. The happiest, yes, the happiest. We wish you the happiest, the happiest. The happiest New Year. May your tree be filled with happiness, happiness and friendliness for all. May your heart be filled with cheerfulness, happiness and cheerfulness for all. We wish you the merriest, the happiest, the happiest, yes, the happiest. We wish you the merriest, the merriest, oh yes, the merriest. You'll cheer. And the happiest. The merriest, the merriest, the merriest. We wish you the merriest, the merriest, the merriest, yes, the merriest. We wish you the merriest, the merriest, the merriest, the merriest. You'll cheer. We wish you the happiest, the happiest, the happiest, the happiest, the happiest, the happiest, the happiest. We wish you the happiest, the happiest, the happiest New Year. May your tree be filled with happiness, happiness and friendliness for all. May your heart be filled with cheerfulness, happiness and cheerfulness and friendliness for all. We wish you the merriest, the merriest, the merriest, yes, the merriest. We wish you the merriest, the merriest, oh yes, the merriest. You cheer, and the happiest, oh yes, the cheeriest, it's the happiest New Year.
Thank you for those lovely performances. Okay, now I'd like to invite everyone to stand and join the chorus as we sing some classic holiday carols together. The lyrics are all on your programs, and Annette's already got everything warmed up, so we should all be in good shape.
Dashing through the snow in one horse open sleigh, o'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. Bells on bobtails ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight! Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one horse open sleigh! Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun
Now I'd ask that you please all remain standing as I invite Mayor Mcclement to light tonight's first candle. Please share your flame with those around you once your candle is lit, and then join us in singing Silent Night. Thank you, everybody. On behalf of Celebrate Frederick, thank you for attending this year's Festival of the Lights. Please join me in thanking the Frederick Children's Chorus. Annette Brailing. Thanks, Annette. Friends Meeting School. Thanks, Friends Meeting School. And our Festival of Lights Committee, our co-chairs Tracy Ratchef and Jen Mills. Let's give everyone a big cheer. Yeah. Yeah. I want to wish you all a very happy holidays and safe travels on your way home today and tomorrow. And thank you for joining us again tonight. Have a very blessed and happy holidays, everybody. Thank you.